This is Lukas Story.
Oh my God, oh.
You helped me so much.
It's really good to meet you guys.
You as well. Thank you so much.
There are few things that can bring two strangers to tears. But when you've battled childhood cancer, the bond is immediate and immeasurable. What Lukas Custer's life and story did for the Schott family was to allow the book of their son Maximus to be written. But to grasp Max's new beginning, you need to understand the journey of Lukas, the Dutch destroyer.
Lukas was the most active kid I've ever met, a little daredevil. He was, always had me worried about what he was doing. And he loved having older brothers. He was just constantly roughhousing with them and with all of their friends. And very early on had a passion for football.
His passion for football in an Eagles family led to spirited discussions about the team. Lukas and Rebecca would pass the time in the hospital talking about the hope that Carson brought to the Eagles when he was drafted.
Right around the time that he was in the hospital for his first extended stay was when there was all this talk about Carson Wentz. We just loved him from the minute we saw him. We just thought that you could very much tell everything about who he was just from his smile. So as his treatment progressed, he really formed a bond with one of his radiation techs. She had reached out to the Eagles and sort of told his story. Like a week later, we were in the hospital and Lukas received a package. It had a number of things in it, but the most special thing to him was a video from Carson. It was a personalized video. And that just meant the absolute world to him. He was blown away by it.
Hey Lukas, Carson Wentz here. Heard you're a big fan and you made it out to the game last year. Just wanted you to know that we're all thinking about you. Personally praying for you, wish you the best, and God bless, bud.
As Lukas's disease progressed and the prognosis turned bleak, he wanted to use his Make-A-Wish to thank Carson for the video in person.
Carson and Lukas just, formed this bond that I don't think anybody can fully explain in that short time. So after we had the opportunity to meet him and Lukas had the chance to thank him and share one of his bracelets with him, we were approached and asked to sort of tell his story and talk about the relationship with him and Carson. And I did have to think about it at first, but, ultimately we thought that if we could in any way help anyone else by telling Lukas's story, we were absolutely going to do that. So ultimately that's what it came down to, was sharing his story and talking about his fight and the things that he went through. We hoped in some way that would touch lives.
Rebecca's courageous decision to share Lukas's story made a huge impact on the public. The story was shared thousands of times on social media. People wept. People shared their stories about childhood cancer. But for one family, the story completely changed their lives. Just miles away, Jerry and Gabby were seeing their son Maximus struggle with an undiagnosed illness. At a time when they needed answers, they just had symptoms.
Some days he would be perfectly fine, and then some days he would be just not himself at all. His stomach was like the big thing that really started to worry us. And my mom's a nurse, and she, sees him like once a week. And to her, she kept noticing, it's getting bigger. She was very concerned. And to her, that was like a red flag, the stomach thing and him being tired.
As Jerry reached out to friends on social media, Lukas's story came across his timeline.
I started looking at it, and I was in tears. This is before I even thought anything. And it was like the mom was talking to me, she said that, Lukas complained about his belly, that his stomach hurt. I just kept watching it over and over again, and it was telling me, something was up.
In the following days, Jerry and Gabby kept a close eye on Max.
Saturday comes, his cousins come over, so pizza comes, he gives his cousin pizza, all he wanted was ice. So I give him ice, and I'm looking like something's not right. Meanwhile, the story was playing in my head. So Sunday comes, we call our family doctor, said bring him in office on Monday. Okay. So Monday we bring him in, he tells us to go to the hospital. You know, me being the way I grew up, we went into a room with tissues that this is not gonna be good.
With the reality quickly sinking in and a diagnosis of leukemia, doctors immediately ordered blood and platelet transfusions. As Max's condition stabilized, Jerry and Gabby began to witness the enormity of how cancer affects a child, not only internally, but externally as well.
He looked completely different. Like, he did not look like Max. And that was like the hardest part. You know, when you're just, he had gained so much weight from the steroids. He gained like probably like 25 pounds in 1 month for a little tiny 4-year-old, you know, just to see your kid not be able to like go up and down the steps, you know.
As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the Schatz attacked this fight together.
Kristen, this is what we do. Do this, and that means a hug and a kiss. And guess what? A shark.
You're sweet.
He's already gotten like 3 bone marrows, 10 spinal taps, medicine, steroids, lost his hair twice. I had to give him needles. It's hard, it wears on you. And I don't know how people do it. In the hospital, he's never seen me cry before. And once I got it together, I said, I'm not gonna cry anymore. I said, you ready to fight with me? He said, yeah. He gave me a pound. He said, let's do it, bro. I said, all right, let's do it. So ever since then, you know, I stopped asking questions. The numbness wore off, stopped feeling guilty, stopped, you know, what did we do wrong? Where'd it come from? It just happened. So instead of worrying about all those things, I shift to positive stuff. So, okay, you're gonna be all right. Do your thing.
It's still there.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is. Oh my gosh.
And today, while Max is not cured, he is in remission.
Oh, outlook is, he's gonna get a full head of hair, get that beach body ready. We're gonna hit the beach. You know, I'm good with it now. He doesn't fight alone. We fight with him. But now the outlook is great. And it wasn't for a while until, you know, now he's in what they call maintenance phase, about to be in, where he can go out and do stuff. It was rough, it was rough. It does make you come together and say, okay, take turns. I'm definitely banned from the spinal taps because they kind of wore on me. You know, as nurses and doctors and counselors, like, you're on timeout. I'm like, you know what, I'll take a timeout, I'm good.
With Maximus finally being able to be out in the world again, the Schatz wanted to introduce Rebecca and the Custers to the boy who Lukas helped save. This past August, that opportunity arose.
This is Lukas Story.
Oh my God. Oh.
You helped me so much.
It is just humbling.
So much.
It just is an indication that we absolutely made the right choice. We made the right choice to tell his story. And you know, in a way, it's comforting for me because even though he's not physically here with us, he's still making an impact.
As the families embraced, the anguish was replaced with hope, the sorrow with promise.
Hello. Yes. Yes. Five hugs. What do you want?
The promise of another chapter in the book of Max. And the promise that Lukas's story would never be forgotten.